What's going on, guys? It's New York Prepper here, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about my SHTF Precision Rifle build. In this video I'm going to discuss the parts of my rifle. It just came back from the gunsmith from GA Precision. GA Precision is one of the best precision rifle gunsmiths in the country. They built sniper rifles for Chris Kyle, the American sniper, and a lot of their gunsmiths have years and years of experience in long-range shooting as competitors in F-class competitions, bench rest shooting competitions, and a lot of them are also former military snipers. So these guys know about precision rifles, and if you're going to build a precision rifle, I highly recommend you go to a gunsmith that specializes in precision rifles like GA Precision. All right, they're out of Kansas City, Missouri. I can't say enough good things about them. Working with them was a really good process. Very good gunsmiths to work with. They communicated with me throughout the whole process of the build, and anything I wanted they were able to do. They worked with me through every step of the way, and very good communication, and that's what you want with a good gunsmith, is a gunsmith that's going to communicate with you and try to get your dreams come true, to get your dreams to come true. So in this video I'm just going to do an overview of all the different components of the rifle and why I chose them, and in the next video I'm going to do a sighting in of the rifle at 300 yards, and then the video after that I'm going to take it out to the 1,000-yard range for the first time with this rifle and see how it performs. Hopefully it'll do well, but I put a lot of money into this rifle. I wouldn't say it's the most expensive rifle, but it's probably, without the scope, I spent about $2,000 between the components and the gunsmithing labor charges. It's probably right around $2,000, maybe just over $2,000. All right, without the scope and any other, add-on accessories. So building a precision rifle is something that's going to cost money. If you're thinking about doing it for SHTF and even now for rule of law, long-range shooting is a great hobby. There's a lot of competitions in it. It's a fun sport, and it's a great skill to have. So, precision rifles are fun, and they're very useful for SHTF as well. So I highly recommend that you guys get into long-range shooting if you can. It's very addicting. It's fun, and it's a very useful skill for SHTF. And so I want to just quickly do an overview of why I decided to build a precision rifle for SHTF. I talked about it in detail in part 1 of the series. So if you go back and watch part 1, I discuss in detail why you want to have a precision rifle for SHTF. And precision rifle just means a sniper rifle or long-range rifle that you can use to engage targets beyond 800 yards, or usually it's 1,000 yards to a mile plus is what you would consider long range. I think it's around 700-800 yards and beyond, but so precision rifle has a lot of benefits for SHTF. You can use it for intimidation purposes, psychological warfare. It's a force multiplier. If you're coming against a superior force that has more men and more firepower, and you know what you're doing with a precision rifle, you can, effectively intimidate and harass that group of bad guys, from a long distance away, in a covered and concealed position. And, they may decide not to continue with their assault on your house, on your neighborhood. Nobody likes having bullets flying at them from different directions and not knowing where it's coming from. A sniper can be psychologically devastating to an enemy, and one guy with a precision rifle that knows about concealment, knows how to camouflage himself, knows about ballistics, and is able to effectively engage targets at long ranges beyond 500 yards. That's a force to be reckoned with. And I don't care what anybody says about SHTF, and a lot of people think that SHTF is going to only be close quarters at 25 yards or 100 yards or less. And my answer to that is nobody knows what SHTF is going to be like, okay? Nobody is God, and you may have to engage targets at long distances. You never know what the situation calls for, you know? So having a precision rifle is just another tool in your arsenal, and it can effectively act as a force multiplier. It can make one man have the same effect on an enemy as a 10-man squad or a fire team or a small platoon. All right, because a guy with a precision rifle shooting at an enemy, and that enemy doesn't know where the shots are coming from, and it's very far away, and even if they knew where this guy was, their weapons are not capable of reaching that guy. Nobody wants to deal with a sniper. It's a very scary thing. And so you can use that to your advantage to harass bad guys that are trying to attack your neighborhood, attack your house. You can set up an overwatch position from a long distance away, and you can effectively use suppressive fire, basically, to psychologically mess with the enemy, and maybe they'll change their mind and go somewhere else, and that's my whole theory behind using a precision rifle for SHTF. Aside from that, if you get outnumbered, you can use the precision rifle to deal with a larger force, because you can retreat and engage from a longer distance. And retreating is not a cowardly thing, it's a smart thing. If you get overwhelmed and there's a lot of bad guys, there's nothing wrong with retreating. You can retreat, and then you can re-engage the enemy from a safer distance with your precision rifle. And while they may have more guys and more guns, they're not going to be able to reach you if you're shooting at them from 800 yards, all right? Unless they're, unless they also have precision rifles. Now, this rifle is a 300 Win Mag. I decided not to do a 338 Lapua for the reason that a 300 Win Mag is more common. You can buy it pretty much at any gun store. So if everything goes to crap, it's going to be much easier to find 300 Win Mag to scavenge it. And 300 Win Mag is pretty much 75% the same as a 338 Lapua. The 338 Lapua is just a little bit more powerful and slightly larger diameter bullet, and you can use heavier grain bullets up to 300 grains. But now with the 300 Win Mag, they have bullets that go up to 250 grain, ultra high BC bullets. So the 300 Win Mag can pretty much do like 75% of what the 338 can do, but it can do it much cheaper. And and cost is important, especially if you want to get good with your rifle. Long range shooting, you need to spend a lot of time at the range, familiarizing yourself with the weapon that you have. And if you're spending $100 for a box of ammo, you're not going to have enough time. You're not going to have enough money to really spend time learning and practicing. All right. And again, it's more common. 300 Win Mag is a common hunting round. It's been around for decades, and you can pretty much get it at any gun store. So if the grid goes down and the world goes to hell, I can probably scavenge 300 Win Mag easier than 338 Lapua. Also, because it is a 308 caliber bullet, I can scavenge bullets much easier for it. So worst case scenario, if I come across AK-47 ammo or 308 Winchester ammo, I can pull the bullets out of those cases and hand load and use those bullets to make 300 Win Mag cartridges, because it uses the same 308 diameter bullet, which is the most common 30 caliber bullet. All right, guys, so I'm going to go over the features now of this rifle. I'm really excited about this rifle. I've wanted this rifle for probably about a year. Because of COVID, it took a few months longer for them to build it. It was originally supposed to be finished in April, actually, March, April, and then COVID hit, so it extended their lead time out to July. So, you know, that was unfortunate. I was hoping to have it up and running and sighted in already by now, and I was hoping that I would have already made a few trips to the 1,000-yard range by now, but what are you going to do? So basically, I'll give you an up-close look at it. So first, I want to just show you guys the stock here. This is a Bell & Carlson stock, okay? And it has a aluminum bedding block in it. It's a combination of fiberglass, aramid fibers, epoxy, a bunch of other synthetics in here. So it's a very rigid, very solid stock. It's a little bit on the heavy side, but it's made for sniper rifles. So you want a stock that's going to be used on a sniper rifle to be a little bit heavier, because like I said, you want to control the rifle better and it doesn't shake as much, especially at longer distances. It has a full-length aluminum bedding block in it, so I think it goes from inside the buttstock all the way through the forearm, okay, all the way to the end. There's an aluminum chassis that's underneath the actual synthetic part, okay? So what they do is they mold the synthetics around that chassis that acts as a skeleton, and that keeps the stock very rigid and prevents it from flexing and things like that, especially under heavy recoil. This stock was actually originally made for the CZ 550 Het rifle, which was standard for high energy tactical. That was a 300 Win Mag and 338 Lapua rifle that CZ 550 used to make. I think they discontinued that one already, but this was the stock that was on that rifle. So I love this olive drab color, and obviously if it's a real tactical situation, this would be wrapped up with rifle wrap. You guys have seen me use that before. You know, it's just basic camo form tape and then a ghillie wrap for the rifle. I wouldn't just leave it like this. So this is a very good stock. And then for the action, I went with a CZ 550 Safari action, okay? And that's a very underestimated rifle action for precision rifles. Most guys that make precision rifles, they usually use a Remington 700, or they'll use like a Stiller TAC 30 or a Templar, you know, one of those other actions. And those are great. Those are great actions, don't get me wrong. But I like the CZ 550, and the reason why is because it's a controlled round feed. It has a Mosser claw extractor, which allows the cartridges to be controlled while they're feeding and while they're ejecting. It's a very reliable design versus a Remington 700, a Templar, a Stiller, whatever the other ones are. I don't even know. There's so many now. You know, those actions, they just push the cartridge into the chamber. They don't actually guide the cartridge, because the Mosser style extractor claw, which I'll show you in a second, it grips the bottom of the cartridge and feeds it positively. So you can shoot this rifle from literally any angle. You know, the CZ 550 action is used by dangerous game hunters, okay? This action has been proven in Africa, in Alaska, on safari hunts, you know, on the Big Five. You know, a lot of guys use CZ 550s for their reliability and their ruggedness. It's a double square bridge design, and what that means is the top is already flat, so you can put a scope base on there. It's just a very rugged, solid action, and it only this action only cost me $600. You know, I bought this for $600, this action, or maybe even less. I think it was like $400. And so this action here is it's actually a 375 H&H action, and I'll see if I can't get up closer so you guys can see better here. All right, so this is the claw extractor on the bolt. It's a It's an internal box magazine. All right, so it's not a mag-fed rifle, and I like it that way actually, because so it just has an internal box magazine, and it has this floor plate release on the bottom. And this will actually hold, like, I can put like a good 5 rounds of 300 Win Mag in there, so I can get 5+1 in that internal box, because this is a big internal box. This rifle is this is a cartridge. This action, this receiver was made for 375 H&H, and as a result, it has a nice long magazine box. As you guys know, the 375 H&H is a very long cartridge. I think it's like over 3.7 inches or 3.8 inches the overall length on that one. So this magazine box is nice and long as a result, which is good because it'll allow me to use very long bullets like these Burgers. These Burger 230 grain match grade ammo. Okay, I'll show you these are 230 grain hybrid ogive tip, or open tip match. I'm sorry, open tip match. And I'll show you guys some of the velocity on this one is 2,800 feet per second, and the energy is 4,000 foot-pounds. The overall length is 3.6 inches. The ballistic coefficient is 0.717, which is absolutely insane. All right, and I'll show you guys the cartridge in a second, how long it is. The bullet is insanely long. It's a 230 grain bullet, and the BC is 0.7, so I'm approaching 338 Lapua levels as far as you know, the size of the bullet and the ballistics coefficient. I'm approaching 338 Lapua levels with this cartridge here, with this Burger 230 grain. All right, and I'm doing it for 50% less. All right, this box of Burger is only 40 bucks. A 20 round box of 338 Lapua is going to cost you at least, you know, $80, usually $100 to $120. All right, so that's a huge advantage in my opinion. So the CZ550, highly underestimated. It has a set trigger, so what you can do is you can push this trigger forward and it's going to lock in place, and once it locks in place, the trigger poundage is extremely low. It's probably like 1 pound. You really don't even have to put any effort in. And then when it's on normal, if it's just not set, you know, the trigger is probably, it's adjustable to like 3 pounds or 3.5 pounds, and down to, well, actually no, I think it adjusts from like 2 pounds to 5.5 pounds. I have it for like 2.5 pounds. That's usually what I like, is between 2 and 3 pounds on my precision rifles. So I think I have it at 2.5. I haven't measured it, but I can tell by the feel. You know, usually for a precision rifle, you're going to want 2 pounds. I don't like less than 2 pounds because that's too light. I don't like more than 3 pounds. I like between 2 and 3, depending on the season and stuff like that. If it's in the winter time, I'll increase the poundage to make an adjustment for, you know, wearing gloves, because when you wear gloves, you don't have the same dexterity. You know, you can't feel that trigger pull. You can't feel the trigger break when you're wearing gloves, so you want it a little bit heavier. All right, so this CZ550, very underestimated action. It's very rugged, and it has a one position safety. So it's literally just right now it's on safe, and then if I want to fire, I just push it forward and it's on fire. Okay, a lot of bolt action rifles like the Winchester Model 70, they have a 3-position safety, which I'm not a big fan of. It's too much manipulation. You have to, if you're on full safe, you got to maneuver through 2 positions before you get to the fire position. This is much more natural. I have my hand here and I just throw it forward and I'm ready to go. You know, especially they designed it that way because it's a dangerous game. It's an action made for dangerous games. So if you're in dangerous game, you know, you don't want to have to cycle through 3 safety positions. You want to just be able to quickly click it and then go, you know. So that's a big plus. And like I said, the CZ550, it has a big advantage over the Remington 700. It's extremely strong. you can handle some very powerful cartridges, and it's very good for custom rifles, because again, these receivers, the CZ550 receivers, are made for 505 Gibbs and 458 Lot and 416 Rigby's and 500 Jeffries. You're talking about cartridges that have immense pressures, so these actions here are extremely strong because they have to handle those high pressure Safari caliber cartridges, 458 Lot, 505 Gibbs. Those are massively powerful cartridges. So they're very strong. In my opinion, they're stronger than Remington 700s. It's unfortunate that CZ has actually discontinued the 550s. I don't know if they discontinued the actions also, but I think it's absolutely awesome. And I also don't like magazines on my precision rifles. The reason why is that it's just another thing you have to carry. A magazine. A nice thing about an internal box magazine is that I don't have to carry magazines with me. As long as I have my rifle, I can load it and I'm good to go. I don't have to preload magazines. If I lose my mags, then I'm screwed. It's a single shot rifle. But internal box magazine, it lends itself to reliability and simplicity. I don't want to have to carry mags and worry about losing them, especially if it's SHTF. So that's kind of my reasoning behind this action. And another reason I like it is because it has that long magazine box. It has the length of the magazine box. It can accommodate these ultra long bullets. I think it has like the length of the mag box is like 3.9 inches. And here's these 230 grain. Let me show you guys here the 230 grain 300 Win Mag round, and you can see how long it is. It's the bullet, you can see the bullet. It's a extremely long and sleek bullet. It has a high ballistic coefficient. You can see how long the bullet is. Has a very sleek design, and that's why it has that long, or has that high ballistic coefficient. It has an overall length of 3.6 inches, this cartridge here. So you need to have a big magazine box, and this can easily fit any kind of reloading I want to do. If I want to even do some reloads and go further and have more powder space, I can even do that, all right, because this has a long mag box here. But just to show you for reference, I have a 44 Magnum shell, a cartridge on the right side. You can see the 44 Magnum just looks like nothing compared to the 300 Win Mag. Even as powerful as the 44 Magnum is, it looks like a little baby next to the 300 Win Mag, and it's absolutely crazy. And this 300 Win Mag will have the same power as this 44 Mag at 1,000 yards. All right, so this 300 Win Mag will impact at the same energy. I don't know about knockdown power or stopping power, but it's going to have the same muzzle energy as this 44 Mag will at point blank, but the 300 Win Mag can do that at 1,000 yards. All right, so that's how efficient this round is. It can retain a lot of energy at long ranges, which is why it's really good for precision rifles. So, and then I want to just show you guys the bolt work. I had them do some parkerizing. They parkerized the bolt, so that's why it's this black color. This is the Mauser style extractor claw, and this is what I was talking about, is that this claw grips the base of the cartridge here. All right, so as you're cycling the bolt, it grips the base, the rim. Okay, it grips the rim of the cartridge, as you see here, and as you're cycling the bolt in and out of the chamber, it's constantly maintaining control over the cartridge. Okay, so you can literally cycle this rifle upside down, and it's still going to function reliably. And that's why the Germans invented the Mauser style claw extractor, because it's very reliable. They created it for war, and it's really a no-brainer. So that's one of the big reasons why I chose the CZ550, because I love because I love controlled round feed rifles. I think it's just a really good design, you know, especially for anything that you're going to use. You know, if you're just hunting deer, you know, if you're hunting animals that are not going to try to kill you, you don't need control round feed, or Mosser style extractor claws. But, you know, in this situation, this is an SHTF rifle. I don't know what I'm going to be up against. I may be up against a group of marauders, and the last thing I want is a jam or, you know, something like that, or malfunction. I want my cartridges to be fed positively all the time, in any condition, any angle that I'm laying in, or any position I'm in. And that's critical, in my opinion, for anything where you have to, where your life is on the line. You want, you know, full reliability. You don't want, you know, push feed where it could potentially jam on you or something like that. And I know a lot of you guys are going to say, well, you know, the U.S. Marine snipers, they use push feed and they never have any problems. Well, a U.S. Marine sniper is not SHTF. That's totally different. It's a different environment. You know, they're usually only taking one shot and then retreating and escaping. You know, they're not going to be engaging multiple enemies, you know, from different angles and things like that. But, you know, so I had this custom bolt knob put on here. This was Navrattle Arms, if you guys are interested. It's a really nice bolt knob here. Okay, it's a solid steel. It's by Jaromir Navrattle. He's from Czech Republic. All right, I love this bolt knob. It makes it easy to grab the bolt and cycle it, especially from the prone position. It clears the scope nicely. Okay, the action is very smooth. It's nice and tight. The lockup is smooth. All right, so moving on to the barrel. The barrel is a Krieger 26-inch light Palma contour stainless steel with it's a 5R rifling, so it has 5 grooves, and it's a ratchet rifling, so it's easier to clean. It has a twist rate of 1:9, so I can use these heavier burgers, the 230 grain. I could even go up to the 240 and 250 grain Sierra Match Kings and Hornady aluminum tips if I want to, because I have that tight twist rate. All right, here's that logo from GA Precision. All right, GA Precision. All right, they do awesome work. Kansas City. I'm sorry, I said they were out of Kansas, but they're out of Kansas City. I apologize for that. So I had them Cerakote olive drab, and I had them put this muzzle brake on. This is a APA bastard brake. I think it's the little bastard brake. Here's another look at it from the front. All right, and it's obviously free floated. So here's what the front of the rifle looks like, the barrel. Okay, and the APA little bastard is a nice brake. It's nice and compact, and it's threaded for 5/8 by 24 inch, which is a very common threading. So if I want to put a suppressor on there, once I move out of New York State, I can do so, because New York, you can't have suppressors. You know, but it's a nice muzzle brake. I have this, this is a Atlas bipod. I've done a review on this one. All right, it's an Atlas bipod. I'm not going to review it now, but it's an Atlas bipod, if you guys are wondering what kind of bipod I'm using. Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of the Atlas bipods. Cerakoted it, as you guys can see. They Cerakoted the whole thing, olive drab. And some other things that they did to this is they bedded. They did a bedding job, and they also did a truing job. They trued up the receiver, the bolt lugs, and also the threading around the barrel threading. They trued up the receiver tenon, and they also trued up the bolt lugs, and they also bedded. They did a glass bedding job, which probably don't even really need it for a rifle, a stock that has a aluminum bed block, but I had them do that as well because it wasn't that expensive. So you know, I definitely recommend doing that if you can. Any little thing you do helps. And I went with the light Palma contour because it's a little bit lighter. It's still fairly stiff, but it's easier to carry, and you know, you don't need a big thick barrel. I think a lot of guys go overboard with the thickness of the barrel. You know, I think a Palma contour is probably the best, you know, compromise between stiffness and lightweight. So here we have my scope. This is the Burris XTR2, Extreme Tactical 2. If you guys don't know what that stands for, Burris XTR2, and that's the 5 to 25 by 50. I'll do a separate review on this one. It goes up to 25 power. Okay, it starts out at 5 power on the bottom and it goes up to 25 power. It's a beautiful scope, probably the best scope you can get for the money. You know, I'm not the kind of person that's going to spend $2,000 on a Schmidt & Bender or $2,000 on a Steiner. You know, I'd rather just have a Burris. Is very reliable. I've had them on my 45-70 and some heavy kicking rounds, and they're very reliable. I got Badger Max 50 aluminum rings here for extra stability. You know, these are the 50 caliber rings that Badger Ordnance makes. They have the 3 screws, so it's a nice wide ring. Has a really good gripping power. I have a 20 MOA rail that's made by Ken Farrell. It's a small company. Ken Farrell, he's really good. He makes a lot of different bases. So it's an all steel base, and it's a 20 MOA base. Here's another look at the scope. I have the sunshade on there. It has these nice target turrets here. You can hear the clicking. Very good, nice positive clicks. It's illuminated. I'll do a separate review on this scope. Now, so it's pretty much done. The only thing I need to do is I need to get a cheek pad here because it's, you know, because the scope, you know, with the base, it raised up the scope quite a bit with that steel base on there. As you can see, it's quite high off the barrel. I can fit my whole hand under there. So it's quite high, you know. So what I have to do is I have to get one of those cheek pads here. And I'll try to get one of those cheek pads that has like a little section for you to put your dope card on there. So I'm going to try to get one of those. And that'll, you know, then it'll be pretty much almost done. And then I also have a Sniper Tools angle cosine indicator and level coming in the mail. And I just have to put that around the scope tube. And then I'll be all set for pretty much anything. So, you know, that's pretty much it. You know, I wanted to just show you guys the components here, and I'm really excited to shoot this rifle. I can't wait to take it out to the range and show you guys how accurate it is. And this is a Krieger barrel. Like I mentioned, it was a Krieger barrel. Krieger is one of the most accurate barrel makers for precision rifles. So we'll see how accurate it is in the real world. But Krieger has some good reviews. They're very well known. So, and this stock, one last thing I will say is this stock is flat on the bottom. It's nice and wide. It's perfect, you know, it's perfect for precision shooting. So, you know, that's pretty much it, guys. That's my update on my SHTF Precision Rifle build. So the next video, I'm going to take this out to the range, show you how it does, and then video after that, I'll take it out to 1,000 yards and show you guys how well it does at 1,000 yards. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions about, you know, building your own rifle, let me know. I'll try to help you out. You can always send me an email at nyprepper85@gmail.com if you want a more personalized response. If you have a more detailed question, you know, let's say you want to build your own rifle, I can certainly help you with that. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.